Senate will come to order. The senators will take their seats. Those persons not entitled to the privileges of the floor will retire to the gallery. Good morning, senators.
Good morning, Madam President.
Good morning, guests.
Good morning.
The senators and those in attendance, if you are able, please rise. We will be led in prayer this morning by the Reverend Charles R. Coward of St. Timothy's Episcopal Church in Herndon. Following the prayer, everyone will please remain standing, and we will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America by Senate page Charlie Astle of Nottoway.
Please bow your heads with me. Almighty God, send down upon those who hold office in this Commonwealth of Virginia the spirit of wisdom, charity, and justice, that with steadfast purpose they may faithfully serve in their offices to promote the well-being of all people. Grant, O God, that your holy and life-giving spirit may so move every human heart, and especially the hearts of the people of this land, that barriers which divide us may crumble, suspicions disappear, and hatred cease, that our divisions being healed, we may live in justice and peace. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The clerk will call the roll. All those present, please vote aye. The clerk will close the roll.
You have a quorum, Madam President. Senate Journal for Friday, January 26, 2024.
The senator from York, Senator Diggs, moves that the reading of the journal be waived. All in favor of waiving the reading of the journal will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 39, noes 1.
Ayes 39, noes 1. The reading of the journal is waived. The clerk will report any communications from the House of Delegates. Chair recognizes the senator from Eastern Fairfax County, Senator Surovell.
Good afternoon, Madam President.
Good afternoon.
Madam President, I'd move to waive the reading of the House communication.
The question is, shall the reading of the communication from the House of Delegates be waived? All in favor of waiving the reading will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 38, noes 2.
Ayes 38, noes 2. The reading of the communication is waived. The clerk will now report any communication from the governor.
We do not have any, Madam President.
We have arrived in our morning hour, and the normal procedure is that the senator will get up and tell us who you are, and please rise at that time when you hear either your name or your organization called, and hold your applause until after I welcome you, and then we'll really give you a rounding applause. And with that, I now call on Senator Boysko, the senator from northwestern Fairfax County. Your mic, Senator.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise. I was delighted that the minister from St. Timothy's Episcopal Church, Charles Coward, was here today to give us the invocation. Father Charles is from Culpeper, and he grew up going to States. He attended VMI with our senator from Eastern Prince William County as a classmate of hers, graduating in 2003. He started his career as a high school history teacher in Virginia and Louisiana, but then decided to go into the seminary, graduated and was ordained priest in 2018. He came to St. Timothy's, my home church, in 22, served as associate rector. Before that, at Good Shepherd in Burke, and he and his wife, Michelle, who runs the mental health docket for Fairfax County, live in the Herndon area. And just so you know, St. Timothy's has been around for more than 150 years, serving God and its neighbors. And we are just delighted to have Father Charles and everybody at St. Timothy's who give so much to our community. I ask you to give him a warm Senate welcome.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for your prayer. And a VMI graduate. Yes, indeed. Thank you for all the sacrifices that you have been making for us and you will continue to make. Senators, let us give him the warm welcome of his Senate. Senator Boysko.
Thank you, Madam President. I also have a number of constituents here who have been to visit many offices today, and you probably heard from them over the weekend. These include Supervisor of Fairfax County in Hunter Mill, Supervisor Walter Alcorn, and Council Member of Vienna's Town Council, Chuck Anderson, who are here talking about the concerns that they have about having a casino in Fairfax County. I ask that you give them a warm Senate welcome. They're here to use their voice to express their opinions, and I'm so glad they have the opportunity to do that. If you give them a warm Senate welcome.
Good afternoon to you, my fellow elected officials, and good afternoon to you for all coming and letting us hear your views on issues that are important to you. This, of course, is the way that we are supposed to be advocating on our issues. And so, senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes Senator Peake, the senator from Lynchburg.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for the purposes of an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
I am not sure if they've made it in yet or not. I was looking up there for some familiar faces, but we are being visited today at the Capitol by members of the Virginia Association of Defense Attorneys. Are any of you in the building yet?
They're all the way in the back.
All the way in the back. Well, great. Madam President, I would like to introduce them to you, have you welcome to the Senate today. We have representatives from the VADA, established in 1968. Their mission is to assist Virginia attorneys in professional and ethical representation of clients in litigation through education, communication, and fellowship. Today, there are over 800 members of the VADA across the Commonwealth. They are engaged in appellate, advocacy, corporate and commercial litigation, the defense of local governments, and the defense of medical malpractice, products liability, toxic torts, professional liability, transportation liability, and workers' compensation. The association is visiting the General Assembly today to discuss issues of importance to the VADA. I would ask that you give them the warm welcome of the Senate.
Thank you also for coming, and we know the Shakespearean quote about lawyers, but it's always been misquoted. What we know is that you are the ones who know the law and help to keep the law. So we're glad that you are there because we're all going to need an attorney one day. Thank you for coming. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes Senator Pekarsky, the senator from Western Fairfax County.
Madam President, I rise for the purposes of an introduction.
The senator may continue.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm pleased to recognize representatives from the Virginia Partnership for Out-of-School Time in the gallery. Included in this group are 12 students and their families from different regions of Virginia, including from my district, and even one student who went to school, elementary school, with my daughter. These students are participants in a Youth STEM Ambassadors program and all have their own unique story about how STEM programs have had a positive impact on their lives. The students have been meeting since July and learning about how to advocate for increased access to STEM programs for more students. The program culminates today with a visit here to meet with their legislators. And I actually had the opportunity to speak virtually and meet these students this past fall, and I can tell you their passion and their advocacy for STEM and ensuring that all students across the Commonwealth have access is unmatched. They are extremely impressive. So I want to thank the students and their parents for traveling to Richmond today and participating in the legislative process. And Madam President, I hope you and my colleagues will give them a warm welcome today.
Indeed. Thank you also for coming. Good afternoon to you. We all know that technology drives countries forward, and we cannot allow ourselves to be left behind in America. Thank you for being in that space and for advocating for more of it. Senators, let us give these young people the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes Senator McGuire, the senator from Goochland.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for the purpose of an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Today, visiting the Capitol, we have members of the Virginia Hunt and Dog Alliance and their Chief Operating Officer, Kirby Birch. With over 95,000 Virginia members, the Virginia Hunt and Dog Alliance has fought hard to preserve the dog hunting tradition in Virginia. They work to promote and advance the opportunities to use dogs for hunting through educational programs, political action such as their visit to the Capitol today. Hunting comes under attack in Virginia often due to a lack of education among legislators who don't have these traditions in their area. And I appreciate these hunt clubs for coming in and helping to inform everyone on the issues important to them. I enjoyed meeting over 50 members from my district this morning and discussing the issues that we have coming before the Senate. Can we please give a warm Senate welcome to the Virginia Hunt and Dog Alliance?
Good afternoon to you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for advocating on issues that are important to you. Indeed, we are not experts, and we need to know what it is that you stand for and why we should care. Thank you for that. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes the senator from Portsmouth, Senator Lucas.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I rise for the purpose of an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Seated in the gallery today is a group of Virginia Business Higher Education Council members led by none other than one of the former Speakers of the House, Kirk Cox. Should I still call him Speaker Kirk Cox? But at any rate, Madam President and members of the Senate, this group is mobilized as a broad-based bipartisan coalition of business, education, and political leaders and Virginians from all walks of life who share a conviction that higher education is a crucial economic engine for our Commonwealth, and I so agree. So, Madam President, I would appreciate it if you would extend to them the very warm welcome of the Senate.
Indeed. Thank you also for visiting us. Without education, how can we have business? Thank you for being in that area and for your advocacy and for reminding us of what's truly important. Businesses will not come to an area where the workforce is not ready. So we're glad that you are there. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes Senator Rome, the senator from Western Prince William.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I rise for an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, join us in the gallery today are almost 50 advocates and allies from Equality Virginia, if they would please rise. Thank you. They are parents, students, educators, and mental health professionals who are all dedicated to safeguarding the lived and legal equality for LGBTQ plus people in our Commonwealth. Today marks their second of 4 lobby days where they have been sharing their stories and having important conversations with lawmakers about how we can protect the rights of their and our community. And so on behalf of Senator Evan, myself, and our record-breaking 9 out lawmakers here in the Virginia General Assembly, I wish the body could give them a very warm Senate welcome.
Good afternoon again to you, and thank you for coming. And what the senator said was issues that are important to you. And we need to know what those are and for your advocacy. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes Senator Pillion, the senator from Washington.
Thank you, Madam President. Rise for an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. In the gallery today, we have some of my constituents from far southwest Virginia with the AFL-CIO who are here advocating on behalf of their respective industries. I ask that you give them the warm welcome in the Senate.
Please rise so that we can properly welcome you. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for doing the hard work of recognizing everyone. And please ensure that we do hear from you when it comes to your senators, your delegates, and indeed your local elected officials as well. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes Senator Locke, the senator from Hampton.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Madam President, joining us in the gallery today is Councilmember Jennifer Rouse from Virginia Beach, who was elected on November 8, 2022 to serve as the District 10 representative. Born and raised in Virginia Beach, she earned her undergraduate degree in English literature from Virginia Wesleyan University. She then graduated with a Master of Science degree in sociology from Virginia Commonwealth University. While at VCU, she was awarded the L. Douglas Wilder Graduate Scholar Fellowship, which provided numerous research opportunities, including the opportunity to research the barriers and supports to serving low-income youth in Richmond. Jennifer is an assistant professor of sociology and department chair for social sciences and education at Tidewater Community College. On City Council, Councilmember Rouse has been appointed to the Housing Advisory Board and Active Transportation Advisory Committee. She's also a liaison to the Minority Business Council, the Public Library Board, the Atlantic Park Community Development Authority, and the Something in the Water Festival. And if the name is familiar, she unfortunately is married to somebody who sits on the floor here of the Senate. She lives in District 10 with her husband, Aaron. So please give a warm welcome of the Senate to Jennifer Rouse.
Good morning to you. Thank you for coming and watching your senator at work. And thank you for what you do and for looking out for your fellow members. Senators, let us give her the warm welcome of her Senate. Chair recognizes the senior senator from Enrico, Senator Bagby.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I was sorry I was slow on my feet. I was trying to make sure that the senator to my left had a good video to take home with them. Madam President and members of the Senate, joining us in the gallery today are 9th grade students on their corporate work day through the Corporate Work Study Program at Cristo Rey here in Richmond. Cristo Rey is a private Catholic nonprofit organization with a unique work study model of education and is the only program of its kind in the city. They are visiting today to experience their government in action. They've already witnessed their local government and visited over at City Hall as they research careers in government, politics, and public policy and administration. It was a real treat to have a chat with them before they came in and took their seats in the gallery, and I hope they enjoy their stay, and I hope that you, Madam President, will grant them the warm welcome of the Senate.
Thank you for being here, and how spiffy and professional you look. When I visited your school, I was so very impressed with the model of education that you have, and I'm glad that you've taken the opportunity to attend that school. It's one that we hope that other schools will indeed model, where you'll be part of the workforce and understand how to be an adult. We're so glad that you're there. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Is there any other business to come? Hearing none, the clerk will call the calendar.
Senate calendar for Monday, January 29, 2024. Uncontested calendar. Senate bills on third reading.
Chair recognizes Senator Sorovell, Chair recognizes Senator Sorovell, the senator from Eastern Fairfax County.
Got it. Thank you, Madam President. I move that the Senate bills on third reading, the uncontested calendar, pages 1 through 7. Senate bills 5 through 577 be placed on for their final passage in the block. Any senator desiring to remove a bill from the block, please do so after the clerk has called the number of the bill.
The question is, shall the Senate bills on the uncontested calendar, third reading, pages 1 through 7, Senate bills 5 through Senate bills 577, be placed upon their final passage in the block, with the understanding that any senator desiring a bill to be removed from the block will do so after the clerk has read the number of the bills. All in favor of that motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. The bills are before us in the block. The clerk will read the number of the bills.
Senate Bill 5, Senate Bill 19, Senate Bill 25, Senate Bill 93, Senate Bill 129, Senate Bill 131, Senate Bill 156, Senate Bill 250, Senate Bill 367, Senate Bill 369, Senate Bill 406, Senate Bill 510, Senate Bill 577.
The question is, shall the bills in the block pass? All in favor of passage of the bills will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The bills in the block pass.
Regular calendar, Senate bills on third reading. Senate Bill 296, Local Planning Commission action on proposed plats, site plans, and development plans.
Chair recognizes the junior senator from Enrico, Senator Van Valkenburg.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I'd like to move passage of the bill and speaking to that motion.
The senator may continue.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, members of the body, Senate Bill 296 is dealing with the section of the code that outlines the process for reviewing and acting on proposed plats, site plans, and places of development. In 2008, then-Delegate Glenn Oder passed a law that created a separate standard of review for commercial projects to streamline the process, to ensure localities provided substantive feedback on any deficiencies, and to cut down on the numbers of back and forth between localities and developers. What this bill aims to do is require localities to review residential development in the same way. It's important to note that this would not trump local, state, or federal law, that this does not relate to zoning. I'd like to finish by thanking the senator from King George. We've had a back and forth about this and about possible steps moving forward as well. But, you know, this is a small tweak, but I think helps cut down on the back and forth, which will help keep prices low for consumers, help cut down on the amount of time that localities have to spend on these projects. And so I move passage of the bill.
The question is, Chair recognizes Senator Sturtevant, the senator from Colonial Heights.
Madam President, speaking to the bill.
The senator may continue.
Madam President, I very much appreciate the patrons' efforts to streamline the process of these residential approvals. Just to explain my vote for today, my locality asked that we not vote on things that will reduce the time that they have to manage these cases. And I think we need to leave them the tools that they have in their toolbox, not take them out. And I think that this does this. I understand the efforts to streamline the process, but we do have these processes in place for a reason. And so for that reason, I'll be voting no. Thank you, Madam Chair.
The question is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of passage will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 39, noes 1.
Ayes 39, noes 1. The bill passes.
Senate Bill 14, Sales and Use Tax Local, additional tax authorized in all counties and cities to support schools. There are 4 floor amendments.
Chair recognizes the senator from Charlottesville, Senator Deeds.
Madam President, I move that we reconsider the vote by which the bill was ordered to be engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
The question is, shall the vote by which Senate Bill 14 was engrossed and advanced to its third reading be reconsidered? Those in favor of that motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The bill is being reconsidered. Senator Deeds.
Madam President, I move that we waive the reading of the 4 amendments.
The question is, shall the reading of the floor amendments be waived? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The reading of the floor amendment is waived. Senator Deeds.
Madam President, this is the bill that will allow any locality in the state to conduct a referenda that has to be approved by the local governing body to raise sales tax by 1 cent for school construction. There are several jurisdictions in the Commonwealth, a couple of which I'm intimately familiar with, that are now represented by the senator from Botetourt, where cities and counties share school divisions. These amendments are designed to make sure that the city and county can work together to make sure that no matter whether the school building is in the city or the county, they can raise money together for school construction. And I ask you to pass it.
The question is, shall the floor amendments be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The floor amendments are agreed to. Senator Deeds.
Now I ask that the bill be engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
The question is, shall the bill now be engrossed and advanced to its third reading? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The bill is engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
I ask that the rules, Madam Chair.
Again, Senator Deeds.
I ask that the rules be suspended and we dispense with the third constitutional reading.
The question is, shall the rules be suspended and the bill's third constitutional reading be dispensed with. Those in favor of that motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The rules are suspended and the third constitutional reading is dispensed with. Senator Deeds.
Madam President, I move that the bill pass, and I yield the floor to my friend, the senior senator from Prince William.
Chair recognizes the senior senator from Prince William, Senator McPike.
Thank you, Madam President. Speaking to the motion.
Senator may continue.
I appreciate the gentleman's additions, the senator from Charlottesville's additions to clarify, and I think those are good additions. This is a work product from many years serving on the School Modernization and Construction Commission. It's been studied often about how much we're behind in terms of investing locally in our schools. And Madam President, it is roughly $25 billion. And I think it's important to recognize that, kids, when they go to school, they don't go to Democrat schools or Republican schools. This is something that all the reports indicate impact every single one of our areas. More urban, suburban, and rural areas have the same challenges with our schools. This simply allows that additional tool if that locality chooses to. As you know, we have a fairly long list and growing list of localities that already have this authority. It's time to add this to the toolbox for all localities to assess if it's right for their community. And that's the bottom line. It simply gives them that option to send a referendum to the voters to dedicate that 1% sales tax to school construction, Madam President.
The question is, Chair recognizes Senator Suderline, the senator from Roanoke.
Thank you, Madam President. Speaking briefly to the bill.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. So Senate Bill 14 before us was correctly explained by the patron. It's also exactly what we said would happen when we passed the sales tax for Halifax a few years ago, when we picked one of the jurisdictions with the lowest sales tax in the entire Commonwealth, and we pointed out that it would only be a little bit longer until this would be brought statewide. We all know the sales tax is regressive. I've appreciated some of the comments from some of my friends that aren't of the party of the governor, pointing out that sales tax increases hurt working people. And that's the reason why I oppose sales tax increases strenuously over and over again. This is something we could do through other means. We've continued to decide that we want to go through the sales tax route. And we're told, well, it's just going to be a referendum. So if people want it, it's not a problem. Well, I have a feeling a lot of people that might feel that way on this bill might feel a little bit different when it comes to talks of gaming in their area. Because the issue is, when you go to a referendum, the side that's going to generate the revenue from it always has a vested interest in that campaign. And the people that want to not have something, they don't want their taxes up, they have to go spend their time and resources to try to say, no, this is not the right way to do it. It's not the right way to do it, and I oppose the bill. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Senator Favola, the senator from Arlington.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, speaking to the bill.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you. I encourage my colleagues to vote for this bill. I served on the School Modernization Committee many years ago, and we took visits. We went on visits across the Commonwealth to look at the state of schools and to talk to local school officials about their plan for actually renovating or building new schools. And we learned that the average age of a public school facility in the Commonwealth is 50 years old. Our children were sitting in buildings with leaky roofs, toilets not working. They didn't have good internet because the buildings were old, and yet we're trying to educate a workforce for the 21st century. This is an option localities can use. Their voters have to agree to it, and the money would be earmarked for new renovations or new schools. There is nothing bad about this bill. In fact, it is a statement about how important public education is, including the value of the buildings our children are learning in. I do hope it is the will of the body to pass this bill. Thank you, Madam President.
The question is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of that motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 27, noes 13.
Ayes 27, noes 13. The bill passes.
Senate Bill 241, Workers' Compensation Notice of Right to Dispute Claim.
Chair recognizes again the senior senator from Prince William, Senator McPike.
Thank you, Madam President. I move the bill pass. And speaking to the motion.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. You've likely seen this bill if you served in the Senate the last couple of years. This provides basically a written notice for someone who has been denied a workman's comp claim. Currently, the process works. You fill out your claim, you get paperwork, you actually get some of the appeal information early in the process. The problem is often claims take months and months until you get a denial. And so JLARC studied this several years ago and found that the inflection point for whether or not someone is truly covered is to make sure they have that appeal notice when they get the denial letter. And so it was almost half of firefighters also don't know. And so that was one of the highlights. It's really critical that when a person is faced with the denial, they know what next steps are available. That way they're fully informed. The language before you actually removed the opposition that was in prior years. That's been removed through this language and simply provides a notice. It's a piece of paper specific to this code section to make sure that someone and their family, because when injuries happen, they impact not just the worker, but their family, have the right understanding of what comes next and what steps they can take as a family to go through the process we already have laid out both in our code as well as the administrative process, Madam President. So I ask the bill pass.
Chair recognizes Senator Durant, the senator from Stafford. The question is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of passage will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 29, noes 11.
Ayes 29, noes 11. The bill passes.
Senate Bill 11, Cruelty to Animals, Possession and Ownership of Animals.
Chair recognizes Senator Favola, the senator from Arlington.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I ask that the bill go by for the day.
Without objection, Senate Bill 11 goes by for the day.
Senate Bill 393, MEI Project Approval Commission, Board Level Gender and Diversity Requirements.
Chair recognizes Senator Pekarsky, the senator from Western Fairfax County.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that the bill pass. And speaking to that motion.
The senator may say on.
Thank you. SB 393 is a bill that requires the MEI Project Approval Commission to consider, prior to recommending financing approval of any major employment and investment project by the Virginia Public Building Authority, whether a business commits to maintaining a balanced board of directors based upon gender and racial diversity. A balanced board is defined in this bill as a board of directors with at least 30% of membership consisting of women and historically underrepresented groups. Secondly, the bill also requires a business to update their disclosure annually. The bill does not make the balanced board a requirement, but rather adds it to a list of other already existing considerations. Many states and countries have passed similar bills, and I will note that this bill was originally introduced to this body last year by Senator Lucas, and it passed unanimously. I know Senator Lucas joins me today in asking my colleagues to recommit to ensuring the Commonwealth is a leader in promoting good investment practices, and I hope it'll be the will of this body to support SB 393.
Chair recognizes Senator Eben, the senator from Alexandria.
Would the senator from Western Fairfax yield for a question?
Will the senator yield?
I yield.
Senator Eben has the floor.
I would ask the senator if she saw the movie this summer, Barbie.
Senator Pekarsky has the floor.
Madam President, I would say that yes, I did, and found it quite long.
Well, if I could ask her if she would yield for another question.
Will the senator from
Western Fairfax.
Western Fairfax County yield again.
I yield.
The senator yields. Senator Eben has the floor.
I would ask the senator if she paid attention during that quite long movie to the boardroom scenes in the movie Barbie, where the Mattel Board of Directors was portrayed as all male, and if she took any inspiration for this bill from that movie.
Senator Pekarsky has the floor.
I would answer the senator that actually I took my inspiration from Senator Lucas on this one, but did find that that was quite an interesting scene in the movie.
A final question.
Final question, Senator Pekarsky. Will you yield?
I yield.
The senator yields. Senator Eben has the floor.
Is the senator able to name the percentage of board members in the Standard & Poor's 500 that are female?
Senator Pekarsky has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. I would tell the senator that is a great question. I would say the percentage is just not high enough for my liking, and after we are finished, can certainly Google that with him.
I have Googled it, Madam President, and I'd ask if I could just to thank her for answering the questions and tell her I think it's a crime that Barbie's director was not nominated, even though she's a woman.
The question is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of passage will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 21, noes 19.
Ayes 21, noes 19. The bill passes.
Senate Bill 469, Controlled Substances, Manufacturing, Selling, Giving, Distributing, Misbranded Drugs, etc.
Chair recognizes Senator Obenshain, the senator from Rockingham.
Madam President, I move that the bill pass. Speaking to the bill.
The senator may say on.
Thank you. Madam President, this bill is a different approach to the fentanyl issue. We've got a number of pieces of legislation that have been bouncing around the building, dealing with drug dealers. This also deals with drug dealers, but this deals with the very real situation of adulterated and misbranded drugs, pill presses, and it enhances the penalties associated with those. It's time that we do something. This is something tangible that we can do to address the people who specifically are adulterating drugs or knowingly selling adulterated drugs. Pill presses are already illegal under federal law. We need to make sure that our Commonwealth's attorneys have the means and the resources to address that at the local level across the Commonwealth of Virginia. The congressperson for the 7th Congressional District has called for stronger federal sanctions. This is completely in accord with those calls. Finally, what this does is it conforms one way that we treat fentanyl with the way that we treat methamphetamines. Right now, it is punishable as a felony to manufacture meth in a house or premises that is occupied by children. The same restriction does not apply to to fentanyl, and this extends that prohibition and the same sanction to the manufacture of drugs that contain fentanyl in the presence of children. So with that, Madam President, I move that the bill pass.
The question is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of that motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 38, noes 2.
Ayes 38, noes 2. The bill passes.
Senate Bill 605, polling place assistance for certain voters, definition of disability, training for all officers.
Chair recognizes Senator Subramaniam, the senior senator from Loudoun.
Thank you, Madam President. This legislation essentially.
What purpose does the senator rise?
I move passage of the bill.
Thank you, Senator. Senator may continue.
Speaking to the bill. Yeah, Madam President, this legislation essentially takes right now someone who you can only take advantage of curbside voting if you have a physical disability. This expands it to all people of disabilities. And it also adds training for those who work at polling places to be able to help these folks. And so I move passage of the bill.
Chair recognizes Senator Sturdivant, the senator from Colonial Heights.
Madam President, speaking to the bill.
The senator has the floor.
Madam President, I abstained in committee on this bill. I wanted to spend some more time looking at the potential legal ramifications for our election officers. I understand the intent of the patron. I worry about the unintended consequences of this bill, where we're going to put on our election officers having to field questions and make judgment calls about non-physical disabilities, both temporary and permanent, and I worry we're going to be putting them in a situation of facing lawsuits and just in a very difficult position of having to make these judgment calls. And so for that reason, I'll be voting no. Thank you, Madam President.
The question is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of that motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Has any senator decided to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 39, noes 1.
Ayes 39, noes 1. The bill passes.
Uncontested calendar, Senate bills on second reading.
Chair recognizes Senator Sturreville, the senator from Eastern Fairfax County.
Sorry, Madam President, we're kind of asleep over here, as evidenced by that last one. Madam President, I move that all the Senate bills on second reading on the uncontested calendar on pages 10 through 16, Senate bills 151 to 629, be advanced their engrossment on and in the third reading in the block after adoption of any amendments thereto. Any senator desiring to remove the bill from the block, please do so after the clerk has read the number of the bill.
The question is, shall all Senate bills on second reading on the uncontested calendar on pages 10 through 16, Senate bills 151 through Senate bills 629, be engrossed and advanced to their third reading in the block after the adoption of any amendments thereto, with the understanding that any senator desiring a bill to be removed from the block will do so after the clerk has read the number of the bills. Those in favor of that motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. The clerk will now read the number of the bills.
Senate Bill 151, reported from the Committee on Finance and Appropriations with a substitute.
Chair recognizes Senator Suderline, the senator from Roanoke.
Thank you, Madam President. I would move that Senate Bill 151 come out of the block and by for the day.
Without objection, Senate Bill 151 is out of the block and by for the day.
Senate Bill 24, reported from the Committee on Education and Health with an amendment.
Chair recognizes Senator Locke, the senator from Hampton.
Madam President, I move that the amendment be agreed to.
The question is, shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The amendment is agreed to.
Senate Bill 36, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with a substitute.
Again, Senator Locke.
Madam President, I move that the substitute be agreed to.
The question is, shall the substitute be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The substitute is agreed to.
Senate Bill 50, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology. Senate Bill 207, reported from the Committee on 4 Courts of Justice with a substitute.
Chair recognizes Senator Diggs, the senator from York.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that the amendment be agreed to.
The question is, shall the substitute be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The substitute is agreed to.
Senate Bill 244.
Sorry, Madam President.
Chair recognizes Senator Surraville, the senator from Eastern Fairfax County.
Could Senate Bill 207 come out of the block and bye for the day? I think there was something I was going to do with that, but I can't remember right now.
Without objection, Senate Bill 207 is out of the block and bye for the day.
Senate Bill 244, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology. Senate Bill 281, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with amendment.
Chair recognizes Senator Rome, the senator from Western Prince William.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move the committee amendment.
The question is, shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The amendment is agreed to.
Senate Bill 355, reported from the Committee for Courts of Justice with amendment.
Chair recognizes Senator Rouse, the junior senator from Virginia Beach.
Thank you, Madam President. I move the amendment be agreed to.
The question is, shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The amendment is agreed to.
Senate Bill 397, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with a substitute.
Chair recognizes Senator Eben, the senator from Alexandria.
Thank you, Madam President. I move the committee substitute be adopted.
The question is, shall the committee substitute be adopted? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The substitute is adopted.
Senate Bill 426, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology. Senate Bill 463, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with a substitute.
Chair recognizes Senator Hackworth, the senator from Tazewell.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask that the committee substitute be agreed to.
The question is, shall the substitute be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The substitute is agreed to.
Senate Bill 509, reported from the Committee for Courts of Justice. Senate Bill 513, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology. Senate Bill 526, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with a substitute.
Chair recognizes Senator Williams Graves, the senator from Norfolk.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that the committee amendments be accepted.
The substitute?
I move that the substitute be accepted.
The question is, shall the substitute be accepted? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The substitute is accepted.
Senate Bill 537, reported from the Committee on Education and Health with a substitute.
Chair recognizes Senator Bagby, the senior senator from Enrico.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that the substitute be agreed to.
Question is, shall the substitute be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The substitute is agreed to.
Senate Bill 576, reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology. Senate Bill 589, reported from the Committee for Courts of Justice. Senate Bill 629, reported from the Committee on Education and Health.
The question is, shall the Senate bills be engrossed and advanced to their third reading? That is, all bills except Senate Bill 151 on page 10 and Senate Bill 207 on page 12. All in favor of that motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bills are now engrossed and advanced to their third reading.
Regular calendar Senate bills on second reading. Senate Bill 21, a bill relating to public institutions of higher education, policies, individuals with disabilities. Reported from the Committee on Education and Health with a substitute.
Chair recognizes Senator Salim, the senator from Central Fairfax County.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I ask that Senate Bill 21 be recommitted to the Committee on Health and Education and speak to that.
The senator has the floor.
Madam President, we had some significant changes that need to be made, and I feel it's proper that Health and Education Committee take care of that.
Without objection? Oh, I'm sorry. It's a voice vote. Got it a little ahead of myself. The question is, shall Senate Bill 21 be recommitted to the Committee on Education and Health? Those in favor of that motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is recommitted.
Senate Bill 33, certified registered nurse anesthesia supervision during an operation or procedure. Reported from the Committee on Education and Health with a substitute.
Chair recognizes Senator Locke, the senator from Hampton.
Madam President, I move that the substitute be agreed to.
The question is, shall the substitute be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The substitute is agreed to. Senator Locke.
Madam President, I now move that Senate Bill 33 be engrossed and advanced to its third constitutional reading.
The question is, shall the bill now be engrossed and advanced to its third constitutional reading? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The substitute, the bill is engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
Senate Bill 195, Uniform Statewide Building Code, Board of HCD to convene advisory group to evaluate report. Reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology with an amendment.
Chair recognizes Senator Van Valkenburg, the junior senator from Enrico.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move that the committee amendment be agreed to.
The question is, shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The amendment is agreed to. Senator Van Valkenburg.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move that the bill be engrossed and passed to its third constitutional reading.
The question is, shall the bill be engrossed and advanced to its third reading? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The bill is engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
Senate Bill 235, reported from the Committee on Education and Health.
Chair recognizes Senator Hashmi, the senator from Chesterfield.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that SB 235 be engrossed and advanced to its third constitutional reading.
The question is, shall the bill be engrossed and advanced to its third constitutional reading? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The bill is engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
Senate Bill 236, aggregated non-confidential case data, requests for reports of academic research. Reported from the Committee for Courts of Justice with a substitute.
Chair again recognizes Senator Hashmi.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that SB 236, I move the committee substitute be agreed to.
The question is, shall the substitute be agreed to? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The substitute is agreed to. Senator Hashmi.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that SB 236 be engrossed and advanced to its third constitutional reading.
The question is, shall the bill be engrossed and advanced to its third reading? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The bill is engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
Senate Bill 415, Virginia Freedom of Information Act amends definition of meeting. Reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology.
Chair recognizes Senator Stewart, the senator from King George.
Thank you, Madam President. I move the bill be engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
The question is, shall the bill be engrossed and advanced to its third reading? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The bill is engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
Senate Bill 521, pre-need funeral contracts, declinable pre-need funeral guarantee fee. Reported from the Committee on General Laws and Technology.
Chair recognizes Senator Williams Graves, the senator from Norfolk.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that the bill pass and be engrossed into its third constitutional reading.
The question is, shall the bill be engrossed and advanced to its third reading? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The bill is engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
Uncontested calendar, Senate bills on first reading.
Chair recognizes Senator Sorovell, the senator from Eastern Fairfax County.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that all the Senate bills on first reading on the uncontested and regular calendars, pages 19 through 23, Senate bills 117 to 516, that the rules be suspended and the first constitutional readings of the titles be dispensed with.
The question is, shall the rules be suspended and the first constitutional reading of the titles of Senate bills on the uncontested and regular calendar, pages 19 through 23, Senate bills 117 through Senate bills 516, be dispensed with? Those in favor of that motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 39, no 0.
Ayes 39, no 0. The reading of the titles is dispensed with. Senator Surville.
Thank you, Madam President. I would move that all the said Senate bills go by for the day.
The question is, shall the Senate bills now on the uncontested and regular calendars on their second reading go by for the day? Those in favor of that motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. The bills will go by for the day.
Uncontested calendar, Senate joint resolutions on first reading.
Senator Surville, the senator from Eastern Fairfax County.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that all the Senate joint resolutions on the first reading on the uncontested calendars, pages 24 to 25, Senate Joint Resolution 16 through 26, that the rules be suspended and the first reading of the titles be dispensed with.
The question is, shall the rules be suspended and the first reading of the titles of the Senate joint resolutions on the uncontested and regular calendars, pages 24 through 25, Senate Joint Resolution 16 through Senate Joint Resolutions 26, be waived? All in favor of the motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, no 0. The reading of the titles is waived. Senator Surville.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that all of the Senate joint resolutions go by for the day.
The question is, shall the Senate joint resolutions on the uncontested and regular calendars now on second reading go by for the day? Those in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Resolutions will go by for the day. For what purpose does the senator from Eastern, the senior senator from Prince William County, rise?
Thank you, Madam President. I move that we reconsider, having voted on the prevailing side, I move that we reconsider Senate Bill 605 on page 10.
The question is, shall the vote by which Senate Bill 605 was passed be reconsidered? Those in favor of that motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 39, noes 1.
Ayes 39, noes 1. Sorry, Senator, the bill is reconsidered. Senator Subramaniam, the senator from...
Madam President, I move that that bill go by for the day.
Without objection, Senate Bill 605 goes by for the day. For what purpose does the senator from Eastern Fairfax County rise?
Inquiry of the clerk. Does that complete the calendar for today?
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Other announcements. I did.
Is there any other business?
Madam Clerk. Madam President.
Senator Rouse,
Madam
the
President, I
the
rise.
junior senator from Virginia Beach.
Yes, Madam President. I rise for an announcement.
The senator has the floor.
So as many of you are aware, we have basketball practice on Wednesday, but there's going to be a slight change because the gym that we were going to use has suffered water damage from rain over the weekend. So the new location for basketball practice this Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 9 o'clock, will be at Fox Elementary School, 1101 Dan Street, Richmond. So I'll make sure you all get this in an email. So once again, this will be a permanent change. We will be at Fox Elementary School. Yeah, we got to get practice in. Thank you, Madam President.
The clerk will report The clerk will report any announcements on the desk.
Today, Monday, January 29th, the Committee on
The Senate will
Commerce.
come to order.
The Committee on Commerce and Labor will meet 15 minutes after adjournment, Senate Room A. The Finance and Appropriations Subcommittee on Economic Development and Natural Resources will meet at 4:30 p.m., Senate Finance and Appropriations Room, 13th floor. Senators Marsden, Favola, Stewart, Reeves, and Surville. The Northern Virginia Delegation Caucus will meet at 5 p.m. in House Room 1 in the Capitol. Tomorrow, Tuesday, January 30th, the Finance and Appropriations Subcommittee on General Government will meet at 7:30 a.m., Senate Finance and Appropriations Room, 13th floor. Senators Saraville, Marsden, Eben, McPike, and Pillion. The Committee on Finance and Appropriations will meet at 9 a.m. in Senate Room A. The Republican Caucus will meet at 11:15 a.m., Senate Room 2. The Democratic Caucus will meet at 11:30 a.m. in Senate Room 1.
Chair recognizes Senator Eben, senator from Alexandria. Senator may continue.
The Northern Virginia Caucus meeting for today has been canceled.
Is there any other business to come for the Senate? Chair now calls on Senator Lucas, the senator from Portsmouth.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move that the Senate do now adjourn until 12 noon tomorrow.
The question is, shall the Senate now adjourn until 12 noon tomorrow? Those in favor of that motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. The Senate will now adjourn until 12 noon tomorrow.
Yes, sir.